Welcome, dear lovers of wisdom, to the series of philosophy class. In the previous video, we explored the meaning of truth in ancient philosophy, and I even saw how some philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle understood the truth in relation to reality, reason, and virtue. In this video, however, we now move forward into the medieval era, where the question of truth takes a new direction completely, focusing on the relationship between faith and reason, and understanding truth as ultimately grounded in God, the ultimate being. In medieval philosophy, truth was primarily understood within the relationship between faith and reason. Philosophers asked what makes a statement true, whether truth is grounded in God, or in reality itself, or in the human intellect. Most medieval philosophers agreed that truth is objective and ultimately rooted in God. But they developed different schools of thought to explain how human beings come to know it. The central conviction of the period was that truth is not relative or subjective. Rather, it reflects the order of reality created and sustained by God Himself. In the school of Augustinianism, also known as Christian Neoplatonism, and Augustine being the major representative of this school, and according to this view, truth is eternal and unchanging because it is grounded in God, who is eternal truth itself. And Augustine argued that human beings know truth through divine illumination, meaning that God enlightens the human mind so that it can grasp eternal realities such as mathematical and moral truth. Since these truths are immutable and superior to the human mind, they must exist in the eternal mind of God. Consequently, all genuine knowledge ultimately depends on God as its source. His arguments are developed in his works such as Confessions on the Trinity and on free choice of the will. The other school was scholasticism, particularly in Thomism or Thomistic school of thought. And the central thinker was Thomas Aquinas, who defined the truth as the correspondence between the intellect and the reality. He expressed it in the famous formula which is known as adequatio intellectus e rei, meaning that truth occurs when the mind conforms to what actually exists in reality. For Aquinas, reality exists independently of human thought, and the human intellect has the capacity to grasp the essences of forms of things. A statement is true when it is accurately reflects the way things are in reality. While human beings can know truth through reason and experience, God remains ultimate truth because He is the source of all being and intelligibility. Aquinas presents these arguments in major works such as Summa Theologica, Summa Contra Gentiles, and On Being and Essentia, Dente e Essentia. In Islamic Aristotelianism, on the other side, especially in the thought of Avicenna, truth is explained through metaphysics and the distinction between necessary and the contingent being. Avicenna argued that everything contingent requires a cause, and therefore there must exist a necessary being whose essence is existence itself. And this necessary being is God. Truth reflects the metaphysical structures of reality, which ultimately depends on this necessary being. Human knowledge is reliable because reality itself is structured rationally by God. His arguments concerning truth can be found in his works such as the Book of Healing and the Book of Salvation. There is also another school, Averroism, represented by Averroes himself. And for them, or for him, truth is primarily attained through rational demonstration. Averroes strongly defended Aristotle and argued that philosophy provides a legitimate and independent path to truth. Apparently, conflicts between religious teachings and philosophical reasoning, which arise from misinterpretation rather than genuine contradiction. So this is their main argument, that reason, when properly used, leads to truth, and deepens understanding of divine revelation. And his defense of rational inquiry and his interpretation of Aristotle are presented in his works such as The Incoherence of the Incoherence and the long commentary on Aristotle's Metaphysics. Overall, medieval philosophy maintained that truth is objective, universal, and ultimately grounded in God. Whether through Augustine's doctrine of divine illumination or Aquinas' correspondence theory of truth, or Avicenna's metaphysical necessity, or Varro's rational demonstration, medieval philosophers agreed that faith and reason are not opposed but cooperate in the pursuit of truth. And the truth in this period was understood as something real and discoverable, reflecting both the structure of reality and the divine source from which all being proceeds. In our next lesson, we will move forward into the modern period of philosophy, the modern era of philosophy, and explore how some philosophers and the schools of thought redefined the question of truth in a light of reason, science, and human knowledge. Let's meet in the next video as we explore truth in modern philosophy. Philosophy for life. Think, thrive, transform. Thank you.